Okay, so what I wanted to point out was on this clip here, this is just some clips I took during the day. I have this clip that I wish I had started it a few seconds earlier, that I'd actually turned on the camera, but I didn't. The reason I want that is I want to transition from this clip here as we're walking into the restaurant, and then I'm going to want to transition down to this clip when we're at the house. And what I want to pick up what she says and what she's doing right at the beginning. And so since the transition is going to take a second, I want this kind of long transition here where it turns out. What I do to make up for the fact that I wanted to pick right up at the top, I want this soundtrack to finish, and then I want this this soundtrack to pick up here. In this first piece, I use our I freeze it here just after the first frame, so that for this little 2.53 seconds, I have a long transition, it just sits with the one frame, in which also turns off the sound, of course, and then we just pick up right at that frame. We pick right up in here. So actually, I guess technically we replay the first frame a second time here. Well, so be it. Alright, so after we've used OpenShot to generate a 60 frame per second MP4 file in an XVID format, that's a lossless format, and we've included the soundtracks that were in our different clips in from the video camera in OpenShot, and that's this first track here, which is what we actually captured on our camera. And then we're going to use a second program, Bativi, to mix in the music, which here is actually this is my favorite rendition of the carol Jingle Bells. So all our video work is done then as a master. A lot of times I do that without any soundtrack, just as video alone, but since I'm doing these things per day real quick, we use OpenShot to generate our talkover or whatever we've picked up on our cameras, mics there, and then we just add the music here. But often I would go back and bring each of the individual ones that I'd used in OpenShot back into here to take out just the soundtrack, and I would mix that soundtrack in this tool, in this editor, because the sound is actually much better. We have a much broader set of audio plugins and whatnot for this particular tool. So it's very nice. And then from this, we're going to render this out as a WebM format.